On first glance, it's hard to believe you carry a universe of unspoken dreams behind your calm exterior. You seem quiet, yet every thought you have could change the way someone sees the world. Others notice your poise, but they cannot sense the battles you fought silently in your mind. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so fearless in embracing the unknown. Your eyes reflect gentleness, but they hide a relentless determination that refuses to break. You appear fragile, yet you have endured storms that left even the strongest trembling. On first glance, it's hard to imagine how much love and care you silently carry for others. You seem ordinary, but the depth of your thoughts could fill a lifetime of books. Your laughter feels light, yet it masks the weight of wisdom gained through pain. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so magnetic, drawing people with quiet authenticity. You appear simple, but your mind weaves dreams that others can only imagine in whispers. Others see your calm, yet they cannot feel the intensity of the fire burning quietly within. On first glance, it's hard to believe someone could be so strong, yet so vulnerable at the same time. Your smile seems easy, yet it carries the courage of surviving unseen battles. You seem ordinary, but your heart understands truths that others spend lifetimes trying to learn. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so profoundly brave, even when the world doubts you. You appear soft, yet your soul has fought wars invisible to anyone else. Others notice your presence, but they cannot sense the storms you've transformed into strength. On first glance, it's hard to imagine the depth of empathy hidden behind your gentle demeanor. Your calmness feels natural, yet it shields the intensity of a mind that never stops questioning. You seem ordinary, yet your thoughts ripple through realities that most will never perceive. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so unshakably loyal to the few you love. Your eyes seem soft, yet they hold the sharpness of someone who has witnessed life's raw truths. You appear quiet, but your courage echoes louder than anyone could hear at first sight. Others see your grace, yet they cannot feel the invisible weight of battles you've already won. On first glance, it's hard to believe you carry so much untold wisdom in your every gesture. You seem gentle, yet your heart has conquered pain that would crush anyone else. Your smile hides strength, a quiet rebellion against the world's expectations of you. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so fiercely independent, yet crave connection deeply. You appear ordinary, but every silent thought shapes the extraordinary life you are quietly building. Others notice your charm, but they cannot sense the depth of reflection behind each word you speak. On first glance, it's hard to imagine the storms you've faced without anyone even noticing. Your presence feels calm, yet it resonates with the intensity of someone who has endured much. You seem simple, but your mind navigates complexities that leave others speechless without understanding why. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you're so quietly revolutionary in thought and emotion. Your laughter seems effortless, yet it is the product of surviving countless invisible struggles. You appear delicate, yet you have built an unshakable fortress of courage within yourself. Others see your kindness, but they cannot feel the depth of resilience it took to cultivate it. On first glance, it's hard to believe someone could carry so much intensity behind such calm eyes. You seem ordinary, yet every heartbeat is proof of a life lived with extraordinary depth. Your eyes reflect serenity, but inside burns a fire that shapes every choice you make. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so fiercely committed to living truthfully. You appear quiet, yet your mind holds a universe that most will never explore. Others notice your poise, but they cannot sense the silent courage that defines your every step. On first glance, it's hard to imagine the dreams you've nurtured without showing anyone. You seem soft, but your spirit carries a strength that reshapes every challenge it meets. Your calm hides complexity, a mind always analyzing, always evolving beyond what anyone sees. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so unyielding in your pursuit of authenticity. You appear ordinary, yet your soul moves in ways that alter the rhythm of the world around you. Others see your gentleness, but they cannot sense the intensity of the fire you've tamed. On first glance, it's hard to believe you have transformed pain into wisdom so quietly. Your smile feels effortless, yet it is proof of survival and unspoken. Victories. You seem quiet, but every thought you hold could ignite the courage in another soul. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you're so fiercely protective of the hearts you silently love. At first glance, you appear calm, but I sense a storm of thoughts waiting to break free. People see your smile, but they don't see the strength it takes to keep it genuine. On first look, it's hard to believe someone can carry so much pain behind such gentle eyes. You seem fragile, yet every step you take is a quiet act of rebellion against your fears. Others see your laughter, but they cannot feel the depth of the battles you fought silently. On first glance, you look serene, yet inside, a fiery You seem ordinary, but your mind thinks in colors others cannot even imagine. The world sees your patience, but they will never know the storms you've calmed. Within you, it's difficult to tell that you are so. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so resilient, even when the world doubts you. Your eyes reveal innocence, but they weigh, hiding wisdom earned through silent suffering. People notice your charm, but they cannot sense the intensity of your unspoken dreams. At first sight, you seem ordinary, yet your heart has rewritten the rules of courage. You appear quiet, but your thoughts roar louder than any crowd could hear. On first look, it's hard to grasp that you are so daring in ways no one notices. Your smile masks a mind that analyzes every unspoken word around you. Others see your kindness, but they cannot feel the power of the boundaries you silently uphold. You seem fragile, yet you have survived storms that would break the strongest souls. On first glance, it's difficult to tell you are so unafraid to walk paths others avoid. Your calm presence hides a heart that beats with relentless courage every single day. At first look, people underestimate how deeply your silence speaks volumes about your character. You seem simple, yet your mind navigates complexities that most would shy away from. On first glance, it's hard to believe you carry so many dreams in such quiet grace. You appear soft, but you have the fire to burn through every obstacle silently. Others notice your beauty, yet they never realize the strength it took to shape it. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so magnetic, not with noise, but with presence. You seem gentle, but your thoughts are a battlefield of courage and persistence. At first glance, people miss the depth of emotion you hide behind casual laughter. You appear ordinary, yet every decision you make is a rebellion of the soul. On first look, it's hard to imagine the universe you hold inside, unseen by anyone. Your eyes seem calm, but they have witnessed storms no words could ever describe. You look serene, yet you carry a fire that transforms fear into courage every day. Others see your calm, but they cannot feel the relentless passion driving your silent battles. On glance, it's difficult to tell that you are so fiercely independent, yet tender at heart. You appear delicate, but your mind navigates complexities that crush the ordinary. Your presence feels simple, but it leaves echoes that linger in people's hearts forever. On first look, it's hard to believe someone could hold so many secrets with such grace. You seem quiet, but your inner world is a universe of untamed emotions and thoughts. Others see your smiles, but they cannot sense the storms you've endured to keep them. On first glance, it's difficult to tell that you're so profoundly brave in silence. You appear ordinary, yet your soul hums with a courage that defies the visible world. Your laughter seems light, but it shields depths of wisdom few will ever reach. On first look, it's hard to grasp that you are so deeply attuned to the pain of others. You seem calm, but your mind is a fortress built with battles no one witnessed. Others see your charm. They cannot sense the resilience hidden beneath every glance. On first glance, it's difficult to tell that you are so unshakable, even when life shakes everything. You appear ordinary, but your heart orchestrates courage in ways the world rarely sees. Your eyes seem gentle, yet they carry storms that have shaped you into a quiet warrior. At first sight, it's hard to believe you are so profoundly intuitive about life's hidden layers. You look soft, but you have survived 1,000 silent battles with unwavering courage. Others notice your grace, yet they cannot see the fire of persistence burning inside you. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so deeply contemplated, analyzing every unspoken detail. You seem ordinary, yet your presence leaves a lasting impact no words could capture. Your smile seems effortless, but it is the outcome of countless invisible struggles. On first glance, it's hard to imagine someone could hold such strength. Behind quiet eyes, you appear calm, yet your soul moves in directions most would never dare to follow. On first glance, it's hard to imagine the courage that flows silently beneath your calm surface. You appear simple, yet your soul holds a universe of emotions others cannot even perceive. Others see your smile, but they cannot sense the strength it took to make it shine. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so deeply attuned to the world's quiet pains. Your calmness hides battles that have shaped you into someone unrecognizably strong from the outside. You seem ordinary, yet your thoughts ripple through dimensions unseen by the casual observer. On first glance, it's hard to believe someone can carry so much love in silence. You appear fragile, but your spirit has endured storms that would have broken many. Others notice your kindness, but they cannot feel the resilience behind every gentle gesture. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so quietly transformative in every room you enter. Your eyes seem soft, yet they carry the wisdom of battles most will never witness. You appear calm, but inside, your heart beats with relentless courage and determination. On first glance, it's hard to imagine the dreams you nurture without ever needing validation. You seem gentle, yet your presence leaves an impression stronger than words can capture. Others see your serenity, but they cannot sense the fire of persistence that defines you. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so deeply reflective, analyzing the world with nuance. Your smile seems effortless, yet it is the product of overcoming countless invisible struggles. You appear ordinary, yet your thoughts could rewrite the way someone perceives life itself. On first glance, it's hard to believe the depth of empathy that flows through your quiet heart. You seem soft, but you possess a strength that turns every challenge into growth. Others notice your charm, but they cannot sense the quiet rebellion behind every decision you make. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so unafraid to embrace your vulnerability. Your eyes reflect calm, yet inside burns a fire that propels you forward against odds. You appear delicate, but your mind navigates complexities that leave others in awe. On first glance, it's hard to imagine someone can be so bold without ever announcing it. You seem quiet, yet every thought you hold could inspire someone else. Others see your grace, but they cannot feel the resilience forged in unseen struggles. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so fiercely loyal to those who matter most. Your presence feels light, yet it carries the gravity of someone who has survived much. You appear ordinary, yet your soul hums with the intensity of countless unspoken truths. On first glance, it's hard to believe the patience it takes for you to keep moving forward. You seem soft, but every decision you make echoes with quiet determination. Others notice your gentleness, yet they cannot sense the inner battles that forged it. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so magnetic, drawing people without effort or noise. Your calm demeanor hides a mind constantly calculating, learning, and evolving silently. You appear simple, yet your thoughts are profound, shaping realities no one else can see. On first glance, it's hard to imagine the courage it takes for you to keep dreaming. You seem ordinary, yet your inner world is a masterpiece of resilience, thought, and emotion. Others see your kindness, but they cannot feel the battles fought to maintain it. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so quietly revolutionary in every choice you make. Your eyes seem gentle, yet they have witnessed storms that could have broken anyone else. You appear calm, but your mind moves at a pace the world would struggle to match. On first glance, it's hard to believe someone can hold so much intensity behind quiet composure. You seem simple, yet your heart understands truths that others spend a lifetime searching for. Others notice your smile, but they cannot sense the strength it took to survive unseen pain. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so unyielding in your pursuit of what matters. Your presence feels soft, yet it leaves echoes in hearts long after you are gone. You appear fragile, but inside burns a fire that shapes every step you take. On first glance, it's hard to imagine the depth of self-awareness hidden behind your calm exterior. You seem quiet, yet your thoughts carry the power to inspire change in anyone who listens. Others see your charm, but they cannot feel the weight of courage it took to build it. On first look, it's difficult to tell that you are so profoundly brave in ways unseen. Your eyes reflect serenity, yet they conceal a mind constantly navigating the storms of life. Appear ordinary, yet your soul moves in rhythms that touch everyone around you.